before we get into the beers, we're going to get into the Cult Classic convention that we had this weekend. It was an awesome con, 3 days long, and it was great. I think it overreached, right? Like, we weren't sure what to expect because it was not in Austin proper. It was right outside of Austin in Bastrop, and I wasn't even sure how big that convention center was going to be. And I feel like they may have already outgrown it. Like, next year, I was talking to I think Shane, he helps out there, and they were talking about we might have to go bigger already.
It was filled to capacity, it seemed like to me.
Yeah.
I don't think they could have fit many more people in there.
No. I think, and I told them, like, well, it looks like you've reached happiness problems pretty quick, because the exhibit hall was packed. They had some great vendors. The guests were good. The thing that I like about all these guests is they were all like super gracious and happy to be there. There was nobody there that felt like, to me, that they were phoning it in. Did you get that feeling too?
No, I think some. What are you talking about? The fans or
the guests? And the vendors definitely weren't, but the guests that were there.
I think some of the guests really wanted your company.
Yeah, no,
and they were really excited to talk to their fans.
I felt like that too. I really did. I mean, and again, you can walk in there and you're gonna put a dent on your wallet for sure when you walk in, because we bought so much stuff, and like I probably only bought a fraction of what I wanted to buy. But I know we had some picks I wanted to pull up here. We gave a shout out. Check out our Instagram if you want to go on there and check it out. But I wanted to highlight some of the highlights here. But first, I guess we should start with what we considered the guest of honor. If we get the close up here, let me see if I can. Is that close up gimmicked correctly? Like, we're going to be able to do that?
Just kind of get it.
I can only kind of see the screen, though. Let me adjust this.
Oh, I forgot to move that back.
Yeah. No, this way. Yeah. Yeah, we'll do that just so you get that backdrop. But yeah, we had. There we go. There it is. Joe Bob Briggs, Darcy the Mail Girl, Diana Prince. They were awesome. They were so gracious, and I know they were. She was filming a movie, is why they weren't able to come on Friday, and they came Saturday. But
she was doing a movie down here.
She was doing a movie somewhere else, and then flew in Saturday. And if you follow her at kinky_horror, I definitely suggest you follow her on Twitter. But she basically gave the story of like she was coming in hot, and she grabbed a costume that may not have fit properly. And that's kind of why I was just like, wow, that, like, she really went with like the short edition of that skirt. And then she basically, if you follow along, you found out why she didn't get a chance to try it on before she got on the plane.
Can you bring that photo back up?
Yeah, let me bring that photo back up.
Now, I noticed this when you sent me the photo. Can you line it up there?
Yeah, possibly. Here we go.
All right, so look. Darcy's got her hand on your shoulder there, and for some reason Joe Bob reached past me to put his hand on your shoulder. Did you notice this?
I did not.
I think it's because you had maybe all the Last Drive-In swag on. And it was like, here's the Last Drive-In fan and his friend.
Yeah. Like, I don't know, maybe they were going to try to thumb wrestle behind us. I don't know. But yeah, I was repping, although that was a Those Incredibles donation that we made to their... how they ruined Christmas and had their double special there. But they were great. They were awesome. You can tell they were smiling the whole time, and they had basically a line at their booth the entire time. So besides the official op, you could grab a Polaroid, old school, like in the middle of I felt like it was back in an old indie wrestling show of just like, yeah, I'm going to go out and make some money on my Polaroid, so I'm going to go out there with a Polaroid and take some pictures.
Polaroid camera's a moneymaker, man.
Yeah, they are.
I mean, the film is expensive, though. But
they are.
You can they're probably selling those for, what, $30?
Yeah, it must, but, they had a pretty big line, and it was really good. So they were very, very gracious. We had Felicia Rose here. I'll do another close-up. I did a how it started versus how it's going on our Instagram there, because I caught her on that pose there. And you always feel weird because you don't want to do we didn't pay for this photo op, and I was like, can I be taking a picture since we didn't really pay for it? So this one, I just figured I kind of jumped in on another one and just kind of stole it there. But I'll go scroll through some here. Let me see if I can. Sorry, I'm not a Tinder expert. Let's see. So you got first one here. You had you holding this axe, and you had the green mask on when you were screaming. But this was from our friends, our new friends at Horror FX Designs. What they actually make most of the movie props that a lot of the horror movie props. But I don't know if you guys watched the fan film Never Hike Alone, which was basically the closest we're going to get to a Friday the 13th sequel this day. He made all the weapons for that.
Yeah.
Which I thought
those were great. Like I almost
you
could not
put that axe down, and I was getting a little.
They were so convincing, the axes, and it's like I would just like to have this in case I want to film something with it eventually.
You did not put that axe down the whole time, and it was definitely like, you know, when you take your mom takes you to the store and she lets you carry something around, and then you're gonna have that painful moment of just like, okay, you got to put that back now. We're leaving, except you had it with an axe. But yeah, JJ, we are living that full luchador life. As you see, we had the mask on there. And oh yeah, we got to do this one more time. Shout out to our friend Brian on there. I don't know, even our Vax masks were our legendary Blue Demon masks there. And Joe Bob was nice. He's like, you sure you guys want to take a picture with the mask on? Because he's like, you're taking a picture here. You should show your whole face. I was like, we're living the gimmick, man. We live our gimmick. We're like the Ric Flair of luchadors.
They were a little taken back by that.
Yeah.
I kind of wish we'd have gotten in line for the Polaroid. I know we saw the line for a while, but we were just like, oh, we're getting a photo later. And then we're not going to discuss the photo debacle. We'll leave that. We're not going to do that. But like, it would have been cool to just get in the line and get a Polaroid as well. And it seemed like they were chatting it up with everybody in the line.
They
so that was cool.
Man. That's what I was like. We were just eavesdropping, and we were trying to take it all in.
You called it though because they rushed us into that green screen room.
Yeah,
that's what folks. So we're not really in front of that sign. That's all green screen. Yeah. And it was a little bit. You called it. It's just like a Christmas Story. Ralphie and a Christmas Story. Just kind of jam you at Santa Claus.
There's so much we did want to ask them. It was just like, hey, you want to come on the show, or hey, how much for a podcast, or you know, is there anything we can do, or you ever? And you're just like. Remember when you did scary movie stuff? That was awesome.
That was awesome.
Yeah, it was a mix between
completely
football.
Marked out Chris Farley style.
We did. It was the Chris Farley SNL skit mixed with Ralphie asking for football. We had no idea. And they were super gracious, too. So what else did we have there? Yeah, and like I said, Felicia Rose, she was the same thing, man. She was chatting it up with everybody, and she was smiling the entire time. The entire time. She was like so... happy to be there. Like, you didn't see she was tired, not looking at her watch. She just looked like she was like ready to go, to the point where I told you, I was like, in honor of her, I'm gonna go home and watch Sleepaway Camp again.
That's right, you did watch it.
I watched the whole thing, man. And it's just like, and I was like, yeah, you're like, there's a lot of problematic scenes in there, and there was, but that ending still hits. I was like, damn, that's freaky, man. So if you have not seen Sleepaway Camp, this is gonna be spoiler free, but definitely check it out. Let's scroll over here. So we talked about Horror FX Designs. You had that cool picture that pretty much summed it up here. This was that con in a nutshell right here. Where during the Q&A, there it is. You don't even need it on my phone. But
see, it's doubled twice.
Yeah, that's Inception. But that was great. And
I really, what were you saying?
No, I was just like, that was great. It's like literally you have the Q&A where you had the blonde girl right there that could have been Sally, standing right next to Leatherface, standing next to Michael Myers, taking it all in with his hands in his pocket.
Did you notice Michael Myers never took his hands out of his pockets that whole day?
No,
we saw him like 100 times.
I don't know if he had a knife in there or what, but
he left with an axe. I saw that. He did cop one of those axes.
I know you would have noticed if he took that axe or not.
He took the one I wanted, the bloody one.
And the fun fact for this story is just like you look down at that picture, and to me, I think he looks like Red Fox, but that man that's sitting right there is the actor who was in the OG Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And this scene always stuck with me. He was the truck driver, not the first truck driver. He was the truck driver that threw the hammer at Leatherface, right?
Wait, this guy's the truck driver?
Yeah, he's the truck driver, right? And he told the story of why they needed a truck, so he was going to be there. And then they're like, oh, okay, cool. Well, we'll actually give you a scene there, too. Let me pull up his name here, because I think it's But he was another one that was like super gracious, and he's like, you know what? I'm here. You guys can ask me anything you want. Oh yeah,
Oh, what? Circling back to Felicia Rose, you got to give her props too, because she was the last one out of the building.
Oh, she did.
She left like the weird science guys left an hour before her.
Yeah, she closed the joint down. Now it makes me wish I was just like, oh man, maybe I should have. Maybe we should have did the VIP, because how do you think that party went down?
I don't know. Like again, I do now. I'm kind of regretting that as well, because I didn't think it was going to be that big. It didn't. I guess they definitely didn't oversell it on their website and their promos and stuff. But it was big and packed, and like it was cool to like we were chatting it up with that guy in the Joe Bob line who worked at Alamo, and he was just meeting like-minded folks.
Oh man, we gotta he's on. Yeah, we gotta give him a shout out, because he was an OG Alamo employee from like 10 years, like from back in the day. But we had to talk stuff. But yeah, they didn't oversell it, and at first, I know they had a couple of flip-flops and a couple of cancellations. We wanted that photo op with the Maximum Overdrive truck, and we did not get that. So we're like, oh, how's this going to go? And I think they hit it out of. They did a great job.
That's didn't get why we wanted to take a photo with the truck.
With the truck. Well, we still kind of figure out like, how does that work? Because that's the OG 80s Green Goblin. And that Maximum Overdrive, how did they get the rights to show that face?
Well, I don't think the rights were. I mean, like this was even before, VHSs had become a big thing. So the rights were just not. It wasn't that important. You could get away with stuff like that. People wearing like IP stuff or doing using IP things in movies.
Yeah, they didn't really matter. Yeah, I guess, but yeah, we definitely
they're just like, this is a toy store. They're gonna have Green Goblin toys there probably, so let's just use the Green Goblin.
Yeah, let's just do it.
You got something else there, show?
Yeah. No, I'm gonna pull this one up here. This was from our cool. This guy was Disco Bloodbath Art. Let's see if you can pull that one up there.
Oh wait, I got that one too.
Oh, you do got that one. Oh yeah, look at that. So he had 3 different types of signs there. So this was all 3D art, and it's hard to even show. Like it shows there, but it shows even better in person. Those are like pictures that have 3 different layers to them, and they're in basically a bigger frame, but they're 3D art. So they had the $40 ones, and then they had like ones that were for like $80 that were way bigger, and then they had that next tier where it basically, those look like the giant boxes that you would see, box lights at a movie theater, where they had the 3D signs with the lights inside of that.
No, these were awesome.
Yeah, and those were all handmade art. So, and I know we were unsure, and it's just like, oh, we can buy some online and have them shipped here, because I think that those would be great.
That's the posture you have to take at these things, okay? Because you're gonna want to buy everything.
Oh yeah. Man, and I had told you another one that we follow there on Instagram, Nightmare Christie, out of Vegas there, and she has Nightmare Toys, and I follow on there, and I'm like, I know she's gonna have some in-action figures, as they called them in Phineas and Ferb, not the action figures, but the in-action figures, and I was
they don't move at all.
Yeah, they're in-action figures. I'm like, man, we're gonna buy some, and I got to take a picture of ones that I did buy, because I was unsure, and I really thought I would have went home with. Oh, there we are. I thought I was going to go home with like a Jason Voorhees one, and I told you that's probably was. But then I had the Grady twins staring right at me saying, come play with us, Jeffrey, forever and ever and ever. And I was like, oh, man. And look at this picture here. I did stick a little Easter egg in here. If we can zoom in, you got a little Dick Halloran, Scatman Crothers. Call it shining. You see him in the back there watching. I think that was a little accidental Easter eggs. But that is from Nightmare Toys. Follow them on IG. Here she is right here. Actually at the convention here. That's Nightmare Christie. And I got to actually, every time I went over there, she was busy. And then she probably thought I was being one of the weird guys that I was waiting for the opportunity to talk to her, and it never happened. And then when you went to wait in line for the picture, I literally had the while we were sleeping scene where I kind of bumped into her and I was like, oh, hey, it's you. And then I was just like, I got to like totally mark out for her stuff there. But she's a great follow on Instagram. She has 3 different accounts, and she also has, maybe has an OnlyFans or not. But yeah, it's worth a follow, all her stuff. She's definitely a horror movie enthusiast, and they had a lot of stuff there. I was like, that's where I'm going to drop a ton of cash.
If you scoot over a bit, we can see the Friday the 13th thing behind you.
Oh, yeah. Wait, let me make sure I scoot the right way.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, yeah, there we go. Look at that. Look at that glow. Yeah, we definitely marked out for that stuff and that was in the front. That was literally like, oh man, how are we gonna get out of here if this is the stuff like right when we walk in? And the shirts you got were great, and they were actually, but I think those were from the gas station.
Yeah,
yeah, I think they were selling. So we bought that was right, and it's the same. His name is Roy, I think. He's the guy who throws the convention. They also own the gas station there.
Yeah, funny story about those shirts. Kind of accidentally bought them, but oh well. That's what credit cards are for.
But no, dude. I don't know. It was definitely some Asian. It looked like some kind of Asian sign, but it was for Evil Dead, and I was like, that's worth it. That's a good that worked out well. Another shout out we're gonna give here is to Sci-Fi Cowgirl Design. She was like, let's see where. Look, there's a picture of her right here. We'll show you here. She was one of the first people we got to talk to because right when we came in, we kind of hustled over into the Q&A. But let's get a shot of this. We know you're going to recognize this, and I think she was she designed this clown, I believe. And this doesn't do it justice, because Instagram makes you cut it off. But literally, this thing was like, what would you say, 7 feet tall? It was pretty high, right?
It was pretty movie accurate. So
yeah,
it was big,
and the legs were on there. So I just wanted to get the face there, but I think the VIP bags were actually had the clown from, and obviously that's the clown from Poltergeist. I'm trying to remember if the clown from the Poltergeist remake with Sam Rockwell was as scary as this one. But yeah, she's also a good, Sci-Fi Cowgirl Design. She's on the grams. Check it out. She has some VHS stuff, some Funko stuff, and she also does, and it looks, she's out of, she has a eBay shop, and it looks like she's out of Houston. So that was cool. And then, we'll do, here's the one we gotta show. This is from Dead Dave Designs, right here. We all recognize that. And he actually had a movie accurate book. I don't know if it was it made of skin? Maybe it was bound of skin, but it was definitely, I was a little nervous to touch it, and I didn't.
It was definitely made out of some kind of actual skin type material.
Yeah.
He was going through how it was made, and each paper was actually customly burned on the edges, and he used a specific type of ink and everything.
He was very cool, and we went back 2 or 3 times before. We're like, oh, you know what? We're about to buy a shit ton of stickers. We bought some stickers from him, and you bought that metal sign. That's actually that was. Oh, where is that sign? Do you have that sign?
Yeah, you want to grab it? It's on the fridge.
Oh yeah. All right, do we have no, I was gonna say we throw it to commercial. But
yeah, I got a commercial here.
All right, hold on. Be right back.
Want a beer? Mm-hmm. This is really an interesting 6-pack. See how it's completely covered? See the ends? Covered. Mm-hmm. That's so light won't get in. Light can spoil beer. And this is good beer, so they don't want light messing around with it.
Well, in that case, why don't we turn off the lights?
We're back.
Oh, sorry. Yes. I was going to say, I'm really excited to when they find out we're our sponsors. Can you do surprise sponsoring? Surprise!
We're doing it.
You're our sponsor.
Thanks for the support.
Yes. But I had to show this. You actually magnetized it, but it's just like a metal sign. Oh.
You got to hold it up. Just hold it up in the wide shot.
Oh, yeah. Let's do that. There we go. Look at that. So it's just basically a stack of VHS, and if you see what they do have in common is those are all John Carpenter classics on VHS. So yeah, Dead Dave Designs pulled that one off and did a fantastic job. I was definitely had shop envy once you did that. I was like, oh man, I really should have bought that. But let's see, do I have one more shout out we want to give on here? Oh, this is so they did have the guy from Jeepers Creepers that was also super nice guy, but he did have his movie accurate mask, and we'll show you that right here. And he just kind of had that sitting at the table there. And I don't know, something about this, the way this looks like when you look at it in person, that has like that Ray Harryhausen effect, right? Like that could, it basically, if the Kraken had a baby with Medusa, it would look like this. You know which one I'm talking about? The classic. The
Kraken from the Clash of the Titans, the original
one, yeah, the OG Ray Harryhausen stop motion. It had a nice mix between Medusa and the Kraken there. So
honestly, I have not seen the Jeepers Creepers movies.
No,
I never got to them.
So I did not see the third one. The second one really. So there's a list out there floating around of sequels that are way better than the original, or at least raise the bar. And I would put Jeepers Creepers towards the top of that list because the first one was a little bit, you get it. But the second one, and it had Ray Fine, is that his name? Anyway, yeah, they really did. And they tied it back to the first one okay. I think Justin Long was in the first one as well, but they tied it together. But the second one was really good.
Did you get a picture of Bennett?
Yeah, I do have a picture of Bennett, but it's a funny picture.
Mr. Vernon Wells? It's Vernon Wells, right?
Yeah, this will be the last picture I show, but this is a funny one. I didn't want to post it because I was like, I feel like now I kind of intruded on this guy's privacy. And then I was like, maybe should I not show it? Where is it?
I don't want to put you on the spot if you didn't want to show it.
No.
It's a secret photo.
It's okay. It was, where is it? Here it is. All right. It puts him on the spot, but we'll see. Here we go.
We'll mail him $20.
Let out some steam, Bennett, by playing Candy Crush.
Your door's open, by the way.
Oh, yeah. My back door is left open. Oh, yeah. It's a live show. Yeah, but that was Bennett right there, letting off some steam on his phone, maybe playing Wordle. I think he looks more like a Wordle guy.
Look, let's go on its site. We'll mail him $20. Okay? We make it fair.
But it was just great. I mean, he's a big part of everybody's upbringing in that time period because you knew him from Road Warrior, you knew him from Weird Science, and you knew him from Commando.
Did you watch that video I sent you after
I did. Yes.
That's crazy that his take on Bennett was that Bennett's actually in love with Schwarzenegger in that movie.
And once that actually happened, I kind of seen that happening because when they had that fight at the end, he was pretty passionate. I don't need no gun, John. I don't need no gun.
Also, have you ever wondered why the outfit fit kind of weird? It was because he replaced another actor last minute, so they had to use.
Oh, I always did wonder about that.
It did kind of fit odd, right?
Yeah, it felt like it was like really weird, loosely fit. But then the way Schwarzenegger was kind of talking to him like he would a lover. He's like, "Why don't you want to shoot him? Run the knife in me, twisting and turning."
Oh my God, that has so much more context now. You want to stick a knife in me?
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, once you said that, I was like, okay, yeah, that all tracks.
Wow,
that all tracks. So
wow,
great con. Thank you to our friends now, our new friends at the Cult Classic Convention. We will 100% be going back next year. Maybe we'll have a booth. Maybe we'll be part of the VIP. We don't know. Maybe we'll do a screening. We want in. We want in more. And I was actually talking to Shane. We should give a shout out to his film. He did a short. The trailer's out. I don't know if it's going to actually be. Did you see it? It was like right in the front. Let me see. All right. I know I said I was going to not show any more pictures.
Now, which guys was this? Which movie was this? Was this the guys in the beaver suits?
Yes. Yeah, so he's making that film that they just finished the trailer. It's called, his name's Shane Bradford, and it's Home of the Slaughter. Let's see if let's zoom in on that, because it's a cool looking poster.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so he was right there in the front, and he had they had that bear, but he showed me the trailer, so check it out. It's It's on the grams and it's on Twitter.
Well, I think they have a film festival as well. I got their card somewhere, and I think they have a film
I
festival.
hope so. I mean, yeah, it's just like it's strange that it's like just tucked away in Bastrop that I feel like it's inevitable that it's just gonna. But I guess in a way it's kind of cool that it's in Bastrop because obviously they have the gas station right there, and you don't have to worry about all the other hustle and bustle of Austin. But I think it's big enough where I can definitely see this running at ACC, right?
I don't know. I think I bet it's cheaper to run it in Bastrop, and I think it's kind of a niche convention, so folks will drive out there. They did.
Oh yeah.
So I don't see any reason to move it into the city.
We kind of happened with us too with the same thing when we went to the gas station for that photo op. I think remember we thought we were just going to kind of get in and get out, and then we were shocked how many people were actually there too.
There was a lot.
Yeah.
So, of course, the photo op didn't work out that time either.
Yeah, heat stroke.
Not not a lot of good luck with the photos this year.
No.
Or anytime.
But they were super friendly and actually made contact with the photography company that are making digital, and I think they were out of Houston as well. So I think it was happiness problems. I think maybe they even thought it was just like, wow, this went really, really so well that people were packed and we couldn't keep up with the demand. But there's a huge demand for these films, because for us it's just like we grew up with it, but like there was a lot. There was a wide variety of ages there, and some cool cosplay for sure. We had I think the girls. I think her name is Horror. She's on our grams now. I gotta find it real quick, but it was worth it. The ones walking around with the bras on their head, and one was dressed as Lisa.
Oh, they were the Weird Science cosplay?
Yeah, they had the Weird Science reunion there. So they had that, and I was like, oh, wow, that worked out really well. HorrorChick.1. I believe that's who it was. Maybe not. No, the real Jenny Lane, that's it, yeah, because they had the bra. Oh, yeah, there you go, I found it there. Plug, too, because that was some good cosplay here. Let me make sure I turn my phone so you can see when my door opens. But yeah, they went all. They had the bras on their head, and then they had the life, and then they had the doll, and then they had
and that's actually the girl who played Anthony Michael Hall's love interest, right?
Yes,
that's her in there.
Yeah, exactly. So that was perfect, the perfect photo opportunity.
Do you think that's just like a stroke of huge luck, right? That you're just in a film that becomes a cult film, and 20, 30 years later, people want your autograph still?
I think it's definitely some divine serendipitous that it does work out like that. Because, back when they make a lot of these films that were considered... Because remember, it used to be lowbrow. And then if you were in horror movies, like, oh, man, I'm sorry, you're on some hard times. You had to be in that, Leprechaun 2. And now it's just like, now we're, I'm Troll 2. Like, now we're going to make a documentary about that. You're like, wait, what?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's kind of cool, right? It's like you get to travel and meet people that are fans of your work, and I don't know. I would think it would be really cool. You wouldn't feel like, oh, I was the only thing I ever did was Weird Science, and now I work.
No, because I mean they really treat again, everybody was so gracious in both directions. The fans that were there, definitely do appreciate everything you saw. Everybody. And I've told you this before, RRP, friend of the show, Robert Zadar, Bobby Zadar, Maniac Cop. I was kind of there when he started realizing there's like, wait, I can go to conventions and have people sign Maniac Cop stuff and make a career. And, dude, all of a sudden everything took off from them. I was like, wow. You can, if you're in the right film, in a way, it's like hitting the career lottery in the sense like, yeah, maybe you're not going to be acting in the way that you thought, but you definitely have some notoriety. Like there's people that appreciate the art, and that's good to see.
Yeah. If you're a moderately known or former celebrity, I recommend you come to Cult Classics Convention next year. Get a table before they sell out, because it's a lot of fans.
A lot of fans sell out, and there was no more tables. There was no more room at the Bastrop Inn. It was pretty full. And the parking lot was full each time we went. And again, I was just impressed that everybody came Everybody got the assignment. Everybody knew the assignment, and everybody was in a good mood selling their swag, except the one guy at the end of the night. But I think he was hungry and he was tired, and he wanted his picture. And I don't know if his name was Karen or not. We don't know, but he definitely did act like that. And he even dropped the line. I'll let you say it because you heard him say it.
I need to speak. Can I speak with a manager? What manager do you want to speak with? Leatherface?
Yes, I was playing. I was like, oh, please let the manager come out like cosplaying as Leatherface to lodge a complaint.
Or what if it was this guy in the Michael Myers, right?
Just sitting there.
One
with
of these two guys, just the manager.
Put his hands in his pockets like, yep. Sorry, sir, that's the way printers work. No, there's no instantaneous printing. They do have to move back and forth. So good stuff. Check it out. Next time they're in town, go to occultclassicconvention.com and support them. And you can go to the gas station and buy some swag and support these other sponsors. So just check our post out on Instagram. I tagged a lot of them, but you can follow the dots on Cult Classic Convention and support it if you want some cool stuff to hang up around your office, around your house. I would have my whole house like this if I got a vote, but I only got a vote on the one room, and I do it up.